Coming up on this edition of the North Suburban Beat, we will find out about the sport of pickleball. We will check out some beautiful music from the Bethel Music Department. But first, let's find out about Shoreview's citizens' efforts to engage the community in planning for the future. Welcome everybody to the North Suburban Beat. With Neal Bellagio, I'm Steve Hahn. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
And you know, it's good that Shoreview is having a lot of good conversations about age-friendly stuff.
Absolutely, looking forward, and aging is an interesting topic.
Exactly, and it's an important one too.
Sure, absolutely.
And October, Steve, was a great month for task force reporting in our northern region.
That's right, Neal. Citizens from the city of Roseville are also looking at important topics, like how to get citizens more involved in their city and neighborhood. The Roseville Human Rights Commission instituted a task force known as the Roseville Neighborhood and Community Engagement Task Force to come up with some recommendations for the City Council. After 17 months of research, they came up with 9 points to develop responsive, accessible communications.
The first recommendation is in the general area of integrating citizen engagement into City Hall culture.
Land use changes and zoning and comp plan changes.
And you can see the entire report by linking to the City Council meeting web streaming through our link at ctvnorthsuburbs.org/NSB. And
Little Canada is looking at possible creation of a Veterans Memorial, originally suggested by Little Canada resident Rocky Waite in 664036.
Neal, did you know that pickleball has been around for more than 40 years? It has been recently growing in popularity here in Minnesota. In fact, 3 of our cities offer pickleball experiences.
Pickleball is a very interesting game because it's a combination of badminton, tennis, even a little bit of ping pong. It's played with a solid paddle like this and a perforated ball that looks very much like a wiffle ball. But believe it or not, this thing actually bounces. You can bounce the ball on a paddle. Pickleball is the game for you.
Well, that was just fascinating, Steve, but whether you're on your way to class or work or running errands, you can consider riding your bicycle or walking. You can check out the bike and pedestrian routes along Fairview, Larpenteur, and Gortner, and coffee donated by Peace Coffee. Riders then join for a group ride to visit Gibbs Museum, Evergreen Park, and Rosedale Center.
Neal, you might recognize a CTV volunteer anchor from this show in our next story about Theater Now.
Hey, we're going to talk a little bit today about Theater Now, and I'd like you to tell me, like, how did it come about?
Well, Theater Now came about really, I guess, accidentally on purpose, as they say.
Theater, which is in downtown St. Paul, right on St. Peter's Street,
Yes.
and Theater Now is the producing company.
And as always, you can find out more about the production through our links at ctvnorthsuburbs.org/NSB. And Neal, it's always interesting to see Lynn out there doing her theater work. In fact, I'm kind of wondering what she's doing living here in Minnesota. She should be in New York on Broadway.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because she was the first one that I ever anchored with here at the Beat, and it's good to see that she's moving ahead and trying something new.
And you Broadway, here she comes.
Exactly, yeah, see? And other things that you can try new is Shoreview is adding some fun new places to find a bite to eat. The latest to open is Chipotle in the developing Stonehenge Center on Red Fox Road, just north of 694 and across from Target. The center also includes a Leanne Chin's and Sports Clips. One of the results of the survey the city did last year showed residents asking for more places to eat within Shoreview. Looking at improvements to Red Fox Road, as it is not only the entrance to the new center, but a main road to the Target store.
3 Roseville businesses failed to pass alcohol compliance checks done in their stores recently and will be fined by the city. You might remember us covering some of the special training the city of Roseville is conducting for hotels and restaurants, especially those concerning serving alcohol to minors. In March, all businesses with alcohol licenses in the city were mailed a letter from the Roseville Police Department announcing 2 alcohol compliance checks would be conducted before the end of the year. The letter included notice of recent changes to the Roseville City ordinances regarding mandatory liquor licensee training programs and penalties for non-compliance. Training was to be completed by every employee prior to the employee selling or serving alcohol. Love from Minnesota, Cedar Home Golf Course, and Rainbow Foods also liquor to underage volunteers. The compliance checkers are accompanied by a plainclothes police officer and present their authentic ID, which needs to be checked carefully. Training continues at all businesses with licenses, and additional support can be found by contacting the Roseville Police Department.
The city of New Brighton has come up with a nearly painless way to help fund improvements in city parks. They're calling this way Change for the Better. Participants in the program authorize the city to round up their quarterly utility bills to the nearest dollar or $10, or add a fixed amount to their bill, and the change collected is designated for improvements and enhancements to city parks. By filling out the form on their website, you can authorize the city to round up your quarterly water bills and contribute the change to the betterment of the city and its residents. We like that idea, and you can link to the form on our website at ctvnorthsuburbs.org/NSB.
Neal, each year families of students join the Bethel community to share chapel, an athletic event, a concert, and meals. The whole idea is for families to spend time and experience campus life together. A highlight of this year's weekend was an evening of music that featured the Bethel Choir, Women's Chorale, Royal Singers, Wind Symphony, and Orchestra. Bethel students used CTV mobile facilities to cover the event and live stream it on their own WBCS TV.
Well, Steve, the moon bounce was up, the pumpkin bowling was set up, and the Fall Family Fun Festival at the Mounds View Community Center was underway. Kids were encouraged to wear costumes, and lots of food and fun, including prizes, filled the day. Proceeds went to the Y Partners for their programs at the community center.
I'm Nathan Danielson. I'm the Community Program Director here at the Mounds View Community Center. Today we have a Fall Family Fun Festival. Show them it's a safe place and just kind of a good community get-together to have some fun.
Well, that's this round of local news. Now let's take a look at the community calendar. The St. Anthony Park Seniors Program is planning a trip to the American Swedish Institute on November 18th from 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. There is a small charge to cover the cost of the bus and the tour. The mission of the SAPA Seniors Program is to maintain levels of independence and interdependence for seniors and their caregivers in the St. Anthony Park, Lauderdale, Falcon Heights area. They work with a professional volunteer staff and contracted nursing services working together to integrating health services, social services, community activities, education, and advocacy. Find out more at 651-642-9052 or email us at office@sapaseniors.org.
The Shoreview Recreation Department is taking applications for the Winter Volleyball Leagues for girls grades 4 through 8. You can learn all the basics of this fun sport. Leagues meet at Turtle Lake Elementary beginning January 5th and registration ends December 3rd. Find out more at www.shoreviewmin.gov or call the Community Center at 651-490-4700. Well, that's it for another edition of the North Suburban Beat. Neal, it's always good to work with you. And if you have a story idea for this program, please don't hesitate to call us at 651-792-7523. You can also view us online at ctvnorthsuburbs.org/NSB. Complete with all the links we mentioned here in the show. With Neal Bellagio, I'm Steve Hahn. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a great week. We'll see you soon.